Hartford police investigating tonight after a police officer shot a man just about 2 hours ago. Hi, everybody. I'm Darren Kramer.
I'm Ann Nyberg. Let's go right now live to Josh Scheinblum, who is at a press conference. Josh.
Yeah, Brent, Katie, we're here at the scene.
We're here right off of Westminster Street. It's where there was an officer-involved shooting around 8 o'clock. That's according to authorities. Now, in just a few moments, the chief of the Hartford Police Department will be sharing with us a few words. Let's go to him now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have an officer-involved shooting, and presently the shooting, there's a lot of information rolling around, and we're trying to nail it down, and the investigation is just in its infancy. So there's going to be a lot of information to follow, probably tomorrow. But just before 8 o'clock, officers were dispatched to a parallel street to Westminster Street on the report of a party with some mental illness that was acting up. There was a foot chase that ensued between the officers and the party. The party was cornered on Westminster Street in a driveway. The officers instructed the party to put down the knife, to try to calm him, put down the knife. I'm being told there is a taser deployment, a less lethal deployment prior to the actual shots being fired by a police officer at the person that was injured. The person that was injured was taken to St. Francis Hospital. Today, right now, he's listed in stable condition, but he's in OR. So with that, some questions?
How's the officer tonight?
The officer was also transported to a hospital for evaluation. I haven't spoken to him yet, and I don't know his exact condition.
Were there any other officers injured?
No, there wasn't.
Since this was an officer-involved shooting, how is the investigation going to be different than a normal shooting investigation?
Well, normally in the past, the Hartford Police did their own investigations of a less lethal or a party that was shot that wasn't going to expire. We've changed that whole dynamic. Presently on scene are the State's Attorney's Office inspectors. I've been in touch with the State's Attorney from Hartford County. The State's Attorney will assign a Western District Major Crime Squad, a state police. We need that avoidance of conflict of interest, don't we? And this is where we're going to divulge and try to get as much information out as soon as possible in a timely manner. You know, transparency, I think, might be an overused word, but we want to be able to tell our public what is happening in a timely manner.
Can you tell us, Chief, the circumstances surrounding this? I mean, we heard he's a disturbed individual.
And I have to go back to, I'm not exactly sure of the total circumstances yet. We haven't spoken to the officers involved. I haven't yet seen or heard the audio tapes for the 911 call, or the there is some audio on the officers' radios. I haven't heard that yet either.
Obviously, a lot of people, this is a very sensitive issue, sensitive time. A lot of people very concerned about officers drawing their weapons, particularly among people of color. You know, what can you say to people who are watching at home? I mean, was the officer of color? Was the suspect of color? What can you say to that?
That's a good question, and I'm not going to disclose the name of the officer at this time or the other two officers that were there. One officer did fire. He has approximately 3 years on the job. He is a black male officer. The person that was shot is also a black male. And there's a lot for us to do here.
Was the individual who shot also the individual who was injured? The officer who shot, is that also the officer that was taken to the hospital?
That's correct.
Chief, is there any danger to the public or any reason to believe that this wasn't an isolated incident?
There's no danger to the public, and nor do we believe that the public's in danger in this matter.
And as far as the investigation goes, where do we go from here?
Well, tomorrow I think we're going to have some more for you. Maybe afternoon sometime. We may release some interesting audio and try to get as much as the story out there as we possibly can. All right.
That was Chief James.
Thank you, Chief. So clearly still some unanswered questions here that we're trying to get to the bottom of. Chief saying they're going to be releasing some audio tomorrow. Now, of course, this is a story that we're going to continue to follow here for you on News 8, so make sure you stay with us as the situation develops. For now, we're live in Hartford. Josh Scheinblum, News 8.